I mean, do you know at that time when you're in college that I'm going to be, or there's a possibility that I'm going to be the number 1 draft pick?
Yeah, it's funny, Woody, how fast things change. Because when I sat out that year at UCLA in 86, and then 87, I was competing with a guy named Brendan McCracken, who had been the backup quarterback, and he was more of a runner than I was. And so the offense was going to have to evolve a little bit, depending on who was going to be the quarterback. We weren't very similar in our skills. And I ended up winning the job. And I'll never forget it. My quarterback coach and offensive coordinator, a guy named Steve Aikman, who was awesome. He told me going into my first start against San Diego State, he said, look, he says, you can't make All-American week 1. Just play within the offense. And I'm thinking, hell, All-American. I'm not sure I can make All-American week 12. I was just, did anybody see my only start in Oklahoma? But so the year went really well. And then, we went 10-2 my junior year, and I'll never forget that Coach Donahue, at that time, no underclassmen had ever come out early. And Coach Donahue met with me shortly after the season, and he talked to me about returning for my senior year, and it kind of threw me off, like why we were even having the conversation. And I said, Coach, I'm not going anywhere. I said, but there was talk at that time that I could be the number 1 pick had I have come out. So for a guy who was just hoping to earn the starting job week 1 to then at the end of the season, a lot of NFL scouts saying that if I'd come out, it might have been the number 1 pick at that time, was pretty amazing. And so my senior year, we lost a lot of really good players after my junior year, but we hung in there. We won games. Like I said, we were number 1 for a while. And then, there was a lot of discussion about me being the number 1 overall pick. It was a great draft class, as you know, Woody, with Dion and Barry Sanders. And then I'm interviewing agents, and the Cowboys were for sale, and all that happened then with Jerry buying the team and bringing on Jimmy Johnson. But I didn't know that I was going to be their pick until probably about a week before the draft. Jerry was threatening even back then. What was interesting is you've heard it a thousand times, as I have, and everyone else now who's been drafted or has tried to sign with the Cowboys. But when Jerry bought the team, had not yet gone through a draft or through a season or anything, and yet he was telling me and Lee Steinberg, my agent, that I should be willing. Now, the Cowboys were the worst team in football. Right. They weren't very good. Right. So he said that I should take half of what I would get anywhere else because I get to play for the Dallas Cowboys. And,
selling that.
And I said, well, I looked at it the other way. I thought, I don't know. You guys are pretty bad. I think that maybe you ought to pay me twice as much as I could get anywhere else.